I was born to a 15-year-old mother in the projects of Jacksonville, Florida. My father died about 2 weeks prior to my birth. We're both victims of domestic abuse and from my stepfather, and to the point that we had to escape the home in the middle of the night when I was still in elementary school. As I moved into high school, wasn't always making the best decisions in high school, but I did graduate. After graduation, I still was really struggling with, what is it to being a man? How do I know that I'm a man? Did not have any male mentors in my life, so I eventually had a daughter, thinking that that was the key to manhood. So I had a daughter at 19. And interesting enough, my father was 19, or would have been 19 when I was born as well. I joined the Air Force at 19 as well, and my last 4 years in the Air Force, I began mentoring all of the youth who were coming in, the 18 to 25-year-olds who were joining the military. And one of the things that I noticed was that they had some of the same issues, concerns, childhood hurts that I had seen in myself and my friends, and I began to see these patterns that were forming with the students who were experiencing some type of trouble while they were in the Air Force. Because I had the decision of whether I was going to kick them out of the Air Force or let them stay in based on some of the actions that they had taken. And from that, after noticing these patterns, I had made a decision that when I retired from the Air Force, that I was going to go back and help young people truly understand what drives them, why they make many of the decisions they make, especially when it comes to not necessarily good decisions for their lives. Climb is actually a set of strategies that I've developed that help people who are experiencing emotional isolation. In the last 6 years, I've been fortunate to have been able to sit down face to face with over 9,000 young people between the age of 10 and 30. During that process, I began to see these patterns that were emerging, that were forming. We're more alike as individuals than we are different. We like to talk about our, uniqueness, our individuality, but we all are more alike than we are different. We all have certain things that we want out of life. We have certain emotions that come up based on certain situations that happen, and so I was able to really begin to refine these feelings, these emotions in the book, and lay that out in a way that's easily digestible, easy to understand. So I'm mentoring 40 plus individuals each and every week, and I'm still seeing the same patterns that I saw while in the Air Force. Because if you're dealing with emotional isolation at 12, it's possible that you're still dealing with the same event that gave you that emotional isolation, or that same event that you experienced. You're still dealing with that at 52, at 62, because nobody's actually taught you what you needed to do or what you need to do to move past that. We just simply say, let that go. I wrote the book because I felt as though no one is telling us how to deal with our emotions, how to deal with the choices or the bad behavior that we may choose to engage in. Nobody's telling us why we're doing that and how to stop. Once you understand why you make a decision, then you can pretty much begin to control it. So the book is designed for anyone who's experienced abandonment, rejection, loss, or trauma. Many times when we experience these things, we're told in our own family to shh. You don't need to tell the things that happen to you. You're fine. There's nothing wrong. Let it go. You'll be okay. Pray about it. Give it to God. We get the advice, and many times the advice can be very general, but nobody's actually telling us how to deal with it. How do I let it go? You know, we always get judged for our bad behavior. Why did you do that? Well, we all have something that we're not proud of that we did, but because I no longer do what I used to and you do, now I get an opportunity to judge you instead of trying to help you out of that situation, or to help you no longer make those bad decisions. And the decisions are all emotionally based.